Please state your name.
Bruce Ballard.
Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
How long have you lived here?
I was born in New York in 1953. I've lived in New York off and on since then.
Where were you on 9/11?
On 9/11, I was living in Brooklyn, and on that day I was working at a company in Midtown Manhattan near Grand Central Station.
How did you hear about the events of the day?
I was doing a training program for this company, and as I was setting up the training center in the morning, the head of HR came in and told me that some people might be late because a plane had crashed into the World Trade Center and the subway was not running regularly.
Did that seem unusual to you?
It didn't seem unusual because I know in the past that planes have flown into the Empire State Building, a helicopter flew into the Pan Am Building, so I just thought it was an accident.
And when did you hear about the real calamity of the day?
So I started my training program, and then when we stopped for a break around 10:30, the woman from HR came in and said to everybody that the training was ending for the day because New York was under attack. 2 planes had flown into both towers, and we were under attack.
What did you do after that?
I went down into the street, and the street was just full of people, and the cell phone service was knocked out, so people were lining up at the public telephones trying to make phone calls to whoever to say they were okay or they were coming home.
So you went down on the streets. Please tell me more about that experience.
It was a beautiful day, fall day, blue sky, cool temperatures, crisp, clean air, and the streets were crowded with people. I walked over to Times Square because Times Square has all these big video screens, and when I got there I could see on video screens what was going on with the World Trade Center. And I could see on the screens, at that point, both buildings were spewing out smoke. And if I looked downtown, down Broadway, I could see the smoke also coming up live.
So you could see what was actually happening looking down Times Square. What did you do next?
My business partner lived south of Times Square, and I had all my training materials. So I went to her apartment because she was home, and I dropped off the training materials, and we watched. There was one TV station that was working, and we watched on the TV station what was going on. And then after a while, I said, well, I'm walking home to Brooklyn. There was no subway service, so I had to walk all the way to Brooklyn.
So when you got to your business partner's home, what was her reaction? What was she feeling?
We were just both in kind of a state of shock. We weren't emotional. I don't feel like we were distraught or crying or having any real strong feeling. We were just numb.
So you left your house.
I left her house, and as I walked downtown to get to the bridge to go over to Brooklyn, I passed people who were walking up from the World Trade Center, and many of them were completely covered in ash. And then I got to the Williamsburg Bridge, crossed over the Williamsburg Bridge. There were no cars on the bridge, and everyone walked over. It was crowded with people, and everyone kept looking over their shoulder to see the huge plumes of smoke coming up from Wall Street.
You got home.
Then I got home.
What did you do?
I don't remember.
And how did you feel about the city that evening, the following day? Were you frightened? Were you afraid living in the city? Did you think of moving?
No, I wasn't frightened. It was just something that was happening in the city. Every day I went up to the roof of my building and I could see over to Manhattan. And for weeks afterwards, there was just smoke just rising up from lower Manhattan. And inevitably, the wind blew it over towards Brooklyn. So you could smell the smoke for a couple of weeks.
What was the reaction of New Yorkers to the event?
Shock and And if you knew someone who was in the buildings that was killed, there was tremendous sadness.
Did you know anyone?
Yeah, I knew someone. He was the older brother of a close friend of mine in high school, and I knew him pretty well too. His family and my family were close friends, so I knew him very well. And he was on one of the top floors of the World Trade Center and died.
If you could tell me anything good that came out of the events of 9/11, what was it?
The world seemed to come together to support the United States immediately afterwards.
And how about the residents of New York?
New Yorkers came together too, but I don't recall anything extra special.
Just start off by saying like years later or something. It's like, yeah.
Years later, I read somewhere about the people who had jumped, and I didn't know about that on the actual day when we were watching the TV and listening to the news. There was no mention that I recall of people stuck in the World Trade Center who were jumping from the 90th floor, the 95th floor. But then, years later, I read some article someplace which had pictures and talked about how many people faced either burning alive inside the building or jumping.
And why was that?
Because they were on a floor above where the plane crashed. So the plane crashed at a certain level, and all the floors above were going up in smoke, burning. And people broke the windows, and they had the choice of staying inside and burning to death or jumping out and falling to death. And some of them jumped holding hands. And I still don't know how many people jumped, but apparently there were quite a few. Very many. And that to me was horrible.
Yeah, thanks.